everyone. It is Samantha with Embracing the Divine Feminine. As you can tell, I'm new to YouTube. This is a new channel, and so I'm working through all the kinks on figuring out how to do this, but I've wanted to do it for the longest time. So here we are. Today we are on our second part of the series, which will be covering the sacral chakra. That is just below the belly button and between the hip bones there, not quite to the sits bones and the coccyx bones, because that's where the root chakra is, but just above that is where the sacral chakra is. That is our worthiness center, and our sexual organs are here. So our pleasure center, it's our sexual pleasure center, as well as just pleasure in general. And what happens sometimes when people have trauma or they're completely just depleted because they're overdoing it, this chakra can have to be completely recovered from it. And what people find sometimes is just the lack of enthusiasm for life, because there's such an imbalance on too much work, not enough play. Same thing if there's too much play and not enough work. That is not balance, right? So I took a couple notes here because I, try not to memorize anything anymore unless I really need to. Well, here's a fun fact on the sacral chakra is that when we retain our feelings, we also retain water. So that's kind of interesting. I've had that before sometimes where I'm like, why am I retaining water? I didn't have a ton of salt or anything like that. Well, it could be my emotions. So try to be aware of these subtle clues that come up through our body. Things that go along with this is we want to try to bring in all of our senses. Okay, so smell is really good, and jasmine is the smell that helps this center. Crystal stones are really good. Carnelian and tiger's eye are really good to help with this area. Actually, I suggest those during a sound bath. It's really nice to have a smell floating around, and then you could also have your crystals with you, and you can place them on the body. And what happens when you play the bowl is the stone resonates with the bowl because there's a lot of energy within that stone. So those are really fun if you're really looking to open up that chakra, okay? And like I said, this is deservedness and worthiness. So if we're not feeling worthy, we could really struggle in this area. Some of that goes along up to the solar plexus as well, but this is really just sometimes when you just don't feel like you have fun in life, period. It's time to kind of look at this and maybe get into some sound baths to help break up some of that energy that's trapped in there. Even one-on-one sessions where I could do sound bowls on the body. That's really a good way to move trapped energy, okay? And then, like I said, when people are under stress or have had trauma, it can deplete that area when you're worn down and you just have lack of pleasure. So what is really good for this is some downtime, some exercise, pleasure, meaning what do you like to do? What brings you pleasure? Do you like to travel? Pleasure is not only sexual, okay? It's how do you enjoy your life? Yes, sexual pleasure is part of it. Same thing, if that's overboard, that's imbalance. If there's not enough or too much, we're trying to stay in balance. So I find that one of the easiest ways to start moving energy and get the blocks out of this is with sound. And so today we're talking about the sacral chakra. And this is the bowl. As you can see, it's one of the larger ones. And I really like this. This has a nice rich tone to it, and I can feel it when I play it. And that's what I would like you to do today is we'll take a couple breaths here. We're going to take 3 breaths in to bring ourselves into our body. Okay, let's do that together now. Here we go. Big breath in. Exhale. Big breath in. Exhale. One more. Big breath in and exhale. Okay, and then a good way, my friend taught me this, Patty McGuire from the Positivity Influencer. She showed me that now that we've taken our breaths and I'm feeling like I'm in my body because I'm feeling my toes tingle, okay? But also I'm going to call myself back into my body. I call myself back into my body fully on August 26, 2025. And I will continue to do that until I feel it. I feel like I'm in my body already, but I'll say it one more time with you. I call myself fully into my body, August 26th, 2025. Okay? So, of course, you're going to put your date, whatever it is. Actually, I like to do this first thing in the morning so that I know I'm back in my body, because when we sleep, we tend to astral plane, like we'll just kind of be out there. So sometimes we won't fully come back into our body, and we'll find that we're flighty, like we're just functioning in our head. When we get stressed, we function mostly in our head. And what happens is then our body functions aren't functioning right because our breathing gets shallow and we get tight and tense and adrenaline-like. And so we're constantly trying to bring ourselves back into balance, okay? 3 deep breaths is one of the easiest way. And then, like I said, also you can call yourself back into your body. Okay, so what I would like you to do now that we're in our body is just listen and try to feel these instruments. I would really like to know if you feel it. Please comment in the comments below. Okay, here we go. When I chime these, this is a chime, okay? So when I do that, what I would like you to picture, like kind of a knot in that sacral area. And as I chime it, just picture it loosening up and just old trapped emotions just bubbling out, up, wherever, out of your body, okay? And we'll send it back out to the universe to transform it, okay? That's all we really need to do. Sometimes our emotions will come up, and when they do, we just face them saying, okay, I see it's a scared part that came up that I just need to understand that I release you because that no longer serves me, okay? And as we move through these series, you'll get to understand how to face those things that come up, okay? So now just kind of close your eyes if you feel safe to do that, and let's get started with our sound here, okay? Okay, and then I'll sing it. And then you can kind of follow the sound because it is in a circular motion. You can just kind of follow it with your ears, feel it in your body. See, these can put out some pretty good sound. Now, these are typically added with a bunch of different instruments. You know, it depends on you. If you needed something specific, we could just work on the sacral chakra. We could work on a bunch of different types of instruments around you, depending on what you were going through. So this really is customizable. I do have one-on-one sessions as well. Tonight, I have a sound bath at 7 p.m. If you'd like to join, I'll put the link down below. I will have those every 2 weeks. This week it's on a Tuesday, but it will move to a Wednesday night at 7 p.m. So keep an eye out for that. This is the sacral chakra. I would love to hear from you down below on your comments. Remember, I did want to bring up really quick before we go, I like to bring up the Feelings Buried Alive, Never Die, because this is a book all about feelings and them getting trapped and what we might experience in the body. So what I did look up was endometriosis, because our sexual organs are part of the sacral area. And, you know, just see if this resonates with you. So this is about endometriosis and the way this person might be feeling and holding the emotions in, okay? Deep-seated unresolved sadness going unanswered. Feelings of frustration, feelings of insecurity, lack of self-love, wanting to blame problems on others, lacking in understanding of self, and dwelling in old limiting concepts. So it's amazing. We will keep touching on this book because I have found so many times when I have these weird things just come up, like my shoulders killing me, or my hip, or my heel. My hip and my heel have been big ones for me, and it was typically me resisting trying to move forward, or really trying to dig my heels in moving forward. So I used to think change wasn't that great, but you know what? I really am liking it now. I'm learning that things change all the time and it's okay. So anyway, I thank you guys. I will see you on the next live, and that will be about the solar plexus chakra. Have a good day. Bye.